Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration to go ahead with its plan to restrict military service by transgender people. The High Court has not taken up this case, okay? Instead, they're allowing the administration to go ahead with its plan while legal challenges work their way through the lower courts. President Trump announced a full ban on transgender service members back in 2017. You remember that extensive coverage. Federal courts ruled it was unconstitutional. Now, lower courts are considering challenges to a revised policy. That updated policy would bar the service of transgender people who seek or have undergone gender transition. Joining me right now to talk about all this, Charlotte Clymer with the Human Rights Campaign. You're a transgender Army veteran, correct?
That's right.
Your reaction to the action taken by the Supreme Court
It's
today?
an enormous miscarriage of justice. The whole point of an injunction is that you abide by the constitutional rights of service members and veterans who are transgender while the court decides whether or not the ban is unconstitutional, and it is unconstitutional. So to negate the constitutional rights of these folks while the court is deciding it is completely absurd.
Yeah. So tell me what it means for somebody on active duty right now. You know, if you've gone through, a transition, or if you haven't gone through, what decisions must you make?
So there are three groups, right?
Okay.
There are the folks who have not joined the military who might like to. This ban says they can't join. They cannot join.
Okay.
If they're openly transgender, you cannot enlist under this attempted ban.
Okay.
The second group are those who are already in the military and may want to come out of the closet as transgender. They can't do that now, because if they do, they'll get kicked out. The third group are the thousands of folks who are serving openly as transgender in the military, and those are the folks that are really at stake right now. Because even though they're technically allowed to serve in the military, they're still subject to harassment. Their commander-in-chief just said to their colleagues, this person's service isn't worthy of our time or our consideration.
Okay. That's what the commander-in-chief says.
That's what the
I want to
said.
know what's going on with the rank and file. I mean, what are you hearing back? I mean, what are people, how are they being treated, those that are out and are actively serving right now?
I'm glad you brought that up. Senator Gillibrand interviewed questioned all four service chiefs last year during congressional testimony. All four said there were no issues with transgender folks serving in the military. Unit cohesion is not affected. However, there can still be harassment, right? Just as like we have environments that have good values, but you're gonna have some bad apples in there.
Yeah.
That's what we want to protect against.
Yeah, absolutely, because you got harassment, then what do you do? Where do you go with that?
That's
Who do you appeal to?
Yeah. It's this kind of thing where we need a system that protects all people. And not just some with privilege.
So what are you hearing at the Supreme Court? I mean, how likely is this to be decided at some point?
I'm confident. I'm with the Human Rights Campaign. We're partnering with Lambda Legal and OutServe as this case works its way through the courts. We're focused on that right now, and I think we're very optimistic about victory.
Okay, Charlotte, thanks a lot for coming in. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you, Bruce.
On short notice too. Really appreciate it. All right.